Hey there. I'm totally getting used to that. Not getting used to that, like obsessed with that because my niece responds so well to it. If at any point in the day you go, "Hi there," and Kim, my sister does it with a D, "Hi there." She lights up. She lights up. Yeah. I am the auntie that talks nonstop about my niece and nephew because first of all, I got the most perfect nephew in the world. And I thought like sorry to the next that comes, you'll never be able to compete. Then my niece comes into this world and she just serves a completely different mixture of perfection. And it's a good reminder that we should just all be ourselves. There's enough room for each of us if you're just yourself because she was like, respectfully, shut up, aunties, because you haven't even seen what I'm about to give. And it was so true. And now I'm like, okay, now there's two perfect children in my world and for so many different reasons. And yeah, we had the best visit. We got back from San Diego yesterday or the day before that. We spent like 2 nights there, 2 full days, maybe no, 3 days, 2 nights, something like that. My days are all over the place, but it's been nice to kind of have a long weekend and just I've really, really relaxed and chilled out. And I'm ready for next week. I'm like, okay, it's to December 1st, right? There's no 31st in November. I'm ready for I like when a Monday starts a new month because I'm like, okay, that's a cool way to start the next month. Let's go. But I'm not there yet. The rest of November will be spent peacefully chilling, max relaxing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I offer to you tonight. So, yeah, we just had a great Thanksgiving. Also, if it's not clear, fuck the pilgrims. My whole family ends up spending that's like a huge time where my parents are government workers, so they get that it's like that's the allotted time for the family, that's what we do, so, we don't even speak of the pilgrims and what they've done. We just kind of are grateful for our family and take it in that direction, but it was awesome. My niece is now she's almost 6 months. She's like 5 months, so she's fully emoting. She's the happiest baby I've ever seen in my life. She I don't Harry said, like, "I don't think she knows how to cry." Like, she does not cry. She'll whine for a quick second to let you know it's feeding time or she's ready to be put down for a nap, and that's it. Other than that, this baby is literally smiling from ear to ear and, like, laughing and singing and talk just so she's like a little chirping bird. And my nephew is just getting more and more talkative and amazing, and he's the best big brother ever. He calls her Little Summy and Lil Sum Sum, and he takes such good care of her. I was playing with these stickers with my nephew, and she wanted to hold one, so I gave one, and he goes, "No, aunties, she could choke on that." And I was like, "Oh, you're so right." And then he turned to his sister and said, "I got you, Summy." And I was like, that's like Hallmark level cute. That is too much. So, yeah, it was a great weekend, and then all weekend, I've been on a serious goal to get Harry caught up with Stranger Things. And you may ask, like, why did you wait until the final season came out? And he will deny these allegations, but I have been trying for 6 months to get him to start this watch. And he always does this. Like, I have never steered him astray. I give banger recommendations to my family and my loved ones. And I don't give the recommendation unless I think that person is going to like it. It's not just about what I like. I give personalized recommendations on what they're gonna like. I'm like a Spotify playlist times 100 because I'm not using AI. This is just a personal engine of greatness. And so I'm like, when have I ever led you astray? You have to just trust me. You're gonna really like this show. And then I started to realize he actually had no idea what the show was about. He thought it was just like a horror show, and that was it. He didn't even know there was kids in the show. And it's funny because I feel like it goes one way or the other. I either hear people being like, "Oh, is that the kids show?" or "Oh, is that the horror show?" And it's not it's like kind of has to do with all of those, but it's not really. I wouldn't consider it a kids show, and I wouldn't consider it a horror show. I'd consider it more of like a sci-fi thriller with horror elements for sure. And there's some seasons that are more horror-y, but I wouldn't yeah, so I was like, this is the perfect weekend to because we just spent like all day basically binging. So we're gonna be done with season 2, I think that today, depending how deep we get into it tonight. And then hopefully we can get to because I think 5 has a part 2, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Season 5 has a part 1 and a part 2 that's coming out. So hopefully we can catch up to a to season 5 part 2 before part 2 comes out because I think we have a few weeks to do that, right? Let me do some research. Stranger Things part 2. Yeah, December 25th. Oh, we'll be there. We'll be there. So by part 2, I'm gonna be caught up and I'll be able to talk about season 5 with you guys. Until then, won't be there. But who's watching it in the chat? What are your thoughts? Do you like it? What's your like I wanna know like your season rankings. As I'm rewatching, I'm like, season 1 is hard to beat. I think season 1 is one of the best setup seasons of any show ever. Like, the way they introduce characters, in the core 4, it's just like, can anything get better than this? But then I have to say, season 2, the introduction for Max is so sick. That introduction, if I was Sadie being her, like, I would be like, "Please, please let me get this role because this is the coolest introduction to a character ever." Like, it's so badass, and she just absolutely annihilates it, and it made me realize Stranger Things does such a good job of, like, you see the core characters, and you're like, "You don't need anyone else," and then they introduce more characters, and you're like, "I like all these characters." They do such a good job of introducing more characters. Um, okay, so what else happened this week? And then I'm gonna get to you guys in the chat. I'm caught up with Pluribus, loving it. The final scene in Pluribus, I don't know if you're caught up, but I'm not gonna spoil it at all, but she's looking at something. What is that? Because we don't know. They left us on a huge cliffhanger. And I just don't know what's happening in that show. Every time I think I'm getting to know what's happening, I don't know. And let's see, did we watch anything else? But yeah, we watched mainly just Pluribus with my family, and that was it. And now I'm just ready for like a solid month in December. I'm gonna try to have a really good workout month, get back to like a normal schedule. It's hard these past few weeks with the holidays and everything, but hopefully all the way up until Christmas, I can be very solid on my workout schedule. So that's one of my goals. My other goals is to drop really great videos, which speaking of, would love to hear if there's a type of video that you're like, I'd love if you do this. Here's an idea I've been wanting to see you do. Drop those in the chat. Definitely open to your ideas and always wanting to hear what you're liking or what you wanted to be seeing more of. And so yeah, drop awesome videos, work out, go on lots of walks. I'm so into walking, and drink fantastic matcha and spread joy. I want to make people happy. You know what is like one of my new favorite things? I don't do it unless I really mean it. But when you compliment older especially older women, like, I'm talking about 70s on, but you could hit the 60s range too, but 70s on, I find that they light up in a whole different way because they're like a forgotten generation where they're your grandparents or your aunts and your uncles, and you forget that they want to be complimented. At least that's how I felt. Like, I felt like there was a part of my life where I wasn't complimenting older people. I would just like be complimenting people in my age range. And then when I was at the gym, this the most gorgeous, she must have been she might be like 80, but because she was so fit and well taken care of, she looked like more like a 70. I don't know, but she was gorgeous. I mean, she just looked like an off-duty model, and I was like, "You're so beautiful." And she was literally like, "Are you talking to me?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, you don't get that all the time?" And she's like, "No. Oh my god, thank you so much." And she was very moved by it, but I was like, "We cannot forget about our our white-haired, gray-haired queens." Or some I don't think my mom's gonna be, like, 90 and still dyeing her hair, but you know what I mean, like, can't forget about the aging queens out there, and I'm sure old men need love too. We could give them some compliments too. I just find that the women I've been complimenting respond really well to it, so that's also on my list, spread joy. Oh, and I've been searching different volunteer groups in my area 'cause since I'm gonna probably be living in this area for a long time, I'd like to get involved with more community-based organizations to just, like, give back to the community I'm in right now. So, I'm looking at churches and different, um, uh, what's the word? Mm, I forget the word. Just different community organizations, and trying to get more involved in community service at least like once a month. Feel like that's the least I can do. Every time I do community service, I feel jazzed up for the whole week and I think, why don't I do this every day? And then I don't. I just feel like we're hardwired to give back and we like doing it, but sometimes we resist the getting out there. So that's another one of my goals for this month. Let me know what's on the horizon for your December. I'm going to get into the chat now and feel free to drop any questions, comments, concerns. William Smith, Steve Stream, yup, you know it. Dion Austin, hey staff, belated happy Thanksgiving. Did you eat your fill? Oh my gosh, yes. I had the worst service at my parents' house, and I was trying to drop my photo in the Discord of my plate because I know I asked you guys what your plate looked like. I filled up my plate so good that my 17-year-old nephew, no, not nephew, he's my 17-year-old cousin who, like 17-year-old boys, they just eat the house down. He was like, that's a legit plate." And I was like, "Thank you for recognizing me." Yeah, because I didn't wanna get up for seconds. I was like, "Let me fill this plate because I just wanna feast here." And then if I needed seconds, I'd go back, but I'm not, like, a huge seconds person. I'm more like, "Let me get a massive first plate in." But what about you? Saw your video last week, yours and Harry's road trip. Happy belated to Harry's grandmother, 90 years old and still doing and looking good is a blessing. Totally. It's a total blessing. Like, he has 2 grandmas that one is, like, 88, I think, and one just turned 90, which you saw, and both are just fully there. You can have whole conversations with them. They don't skip a beat. They're active. But it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm like, "You have good genes. You have great genes. We gotta get that." I saw first 4 episodes of Stranger Things. I want more. Ready to get into Wicked for Good spoilers. Oh, yes, and today we can get into Wicked for Good spoilers because I gave you guys a week warning to get to watch Wicked for Good. So, drop your spoiler comments in the chat right now, and we can get into those definitely. Thanks for bringing that up. Hey Steph, have you seen old Christmas movie called Prancer with Sam Elliott and Clovis Leachman about a little girl who finds an injured reindeer and believes it to be a legendary Prancer? No, no, I haven't. Was it on Disney or something? Lloyd, Team Big H, Team C's. Hell yeah, thanks Lloyd, Team Lloyd. What's your favorite winter song? Huh, that's a really good question. Um, the first one that came to mind is I think it's Destiny's Child, 8 Days of Christmas. I love that one. Let's see. Is it 8 Days of Christmas? Yeah. That's a banger. Let's see. Best winter songs. I don't know any of these. Like holiday songs more so. Best holiday songs. Oh, Santa Baby, the original. I like all the versions, but the uh is it yeah, Santa Baby Eartha Kitt, that might be my favorite. That song is legit hysterical and iconic. Like the demands she's asking for are so funny. It was like a few years ago, I was in the car with H, and I really sat down to listen to what she was requesting. And I was like, yes, girl. Like, I don't think we're really listening to what she's asking for, but if you actually listen, it's the funniest. Like, yes, Eartha Kitt, a legend. I love me some Eartha Kitt. Talk about range. Okay. What else? I love the Last Christmas song. I think I like the Backstreet Boys version. Um, forget. Oh, Mariah Carey has to be included. All of it, but All I Want for Christmas Is You is probably that's a top 5 for sure. Feliz Navidad is a banger by Jose Feliciano. Um, Jingle Bell Rock is pretty fun. I can't lie. Yeah, so those are my main faves that I'll always play. Okay, talking about new songs that have done pretty well Christmas-wise, Santa Tell Me, Ariana Grande, I like that song. Or the Mistletoe song by Justin Bieber, pretty good. Yeah, so those are some of my favorites. Happy last day of November, Andrew. Thank you. Abdil, what's up, Steph? Hey, Abdil. I got to have Thanksgiving off because the movie theater cut my Thanksgiving shift. Oh, yeah, I thought you were, but then you went to your family's house, right? I'm actually early for a change. Welcome. Good to have you. William, LMAO, you'll never be able to compete. So, yeah, I really didn't think she would. And that was on me. I am happy to watch some Christmas stuff tomorrow. Yeah, do you wait till December 1st? I feel that. I ate lots of turkey stuffing and corn pudding on Thanksgiving. Oh, update on my mom. You know how she's kind of a tyrant in the kitchen. And so I was just gonna let her do her thing and cut the vegetables for her. And if she needed my help, she'd tell me. And then she was like, "I'd like you to make stuffing." And that was completely random out of the blue. And I was like, yes. But then that night, she sent me like 3 of the worst stuffing recipes ever. And then I was like, here she goes, trying to micromanage me. Like, this is not going to work. Then, to her credit, I just didn't like press into it and was like, oh, I found one. Like, it has a lot of the similar ingredients, like patted her on the back. So that's good. We're in the right direction. And I made the stuffing. I made like 2 huge portions, like for like 35, 40 people. And it slayed. It slayed. Harry said H said it was his favorite thing. I know it's like, hey, that's your husband, but a lot of people were like, "The stuffing is amazing." Like, it was a smash hit, and I was like, "Mom, do you see? Like, you taught me well. I'm not gonna come with anything but a magical delish plate to serve. You gotta trust me." So hopefully that gave me some street credit for her, cause I was stressed. The whole time I was cooking it, I was like, "This needs to be amazing." But it's super sketchy to cook something you've never cooked on a day where you're cooking for 40 people. That's took a lot of confidence. And when I was making it, there was a moment of, "This does not look like the pictures." Not that the finished product, but it was, you know how, like, a recipe will show you, like, step-by-step photos? I was like, "This is looking way too liquidy." And then because I was making, like, triple the amount of the recipe, I kind of ended up having to move the recipe around and, like, make my own changes here and there. So I wish I wrote it down because it ended up being perfect, and it was very good. I was like, "Okay, stuffing, who knew?" Okay. Steph, have you or Harry ever seen a Christmas horror movie called Krampus? Which is no, we haven't. I've heard about this a lot though. Abdeel, for those who have seen it, how are we feeling about the new season of Stranger Things? Yeah, what are your non-spoiler thoughts? Steph, have you seen the Thanksgiving horror movie Eli Roth, Patrick Dempsey? It's so bad. No. No, that I wouldn't what's it called? Paul. Hi, Steph and everyone. Just wanted to drop by and say hi, catching up on Stranger Things right now. Awesome. Let us know how you like it. William. Stranger Things is the classic thing of a show falling off so hard. Damn, yeah, I've kind of heard this, which is why I wasn't like fully forcing Harry to watch it because I was like, I can't tell what I think you're gonna think of the later seasons, but I know you're gonna love a lot of it. But a lot of people feel this way, William, I think. Okay. Dion, you know something, Steph? I can't believe we grew up believing that bullshit about peaceful feast between Native Americans and the Pilgrims without the tribes the European settlers would not have known how to plant their crops in the New World. Totally. Yeah, it's actually crazy what we teach in school and what the actual reality is. It is pretty sick and twisted. Like, I'm totally for a holiday that's about giving thanks to everything that we have and the food and the all the farmers who have made it possible, but in that history should be the fact that the the pilgrims would have starved to death had it not been for the native people to the land showing them how to get their crops right, and then how dirty they treated them it's just yeah, like, when you actually learn about it, you're like, "Oh my god." My school was never one that dressed up as pilgrims and stuff, but I think a lot of people's are like that, which is wild. It's an '80s show that says it all. It is very '80s. Not that I would know, I'm from the '80s, but I feel like it is. Yeah, part 2 is Xmas. Okay, yeah, so we have a long time to catch up. Oh, there's a part 3 too? Damn. Steve. Hey, Steph. Hey, Steve. But how was the road trip? Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Trying to think if anything else happened in it. The way there was I feel like the way back was way faster than the way there. Maybe because we drove part of it as at night as opposed to the morning, but yeah, I like going to Phoenix. We're gonna be back for New Year's, so that will be fun. Abdiel, the very last episode is December 31st. Okay, they just dropping one. I missed the Stranger Things train, never got into it. Yeah, that happens. Okay, Mike, I'd rank them 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, I here the general consensus is a lot of people don't love 3, and then 4 brought it back heavy. I think Stranger Things season 3 really starts to get things rolling to me. Okay, well, there you go, different opinion. I agree season 1 is the best, but I'm liking this first half of season 5 so far. I really hope they stick the landing with the last half. Totally. It's like what they did right though was set up that you love all of the core kids so much, especially Dustin. Like if anything ever, and I know that there's like rumors talking about season 5 with Dustin. If my baby Dustin is not protected at all costs, I'm gonna be so pissed about watching. Dustin needs to be protected. When he's like does that thing, I love him so much. And in real life, that actor is dating what was her name? I really think she's a great actress and she's adorable. From Avatar live action. Last Airbender. No, I want the live action. Um, why are you doing this to me? No one is looking up the movie. No one. Okay. Oh, Elizabeth Yu. She plays Azula. She's dating. Is his name Gavin in real life? Yeah, no, Gaten. Gaten. I'm like, what a cute Netflix couple. Love it. Okay. What's next? Oh, we need to know who won the Thanksgiving dinner battle. Did they make Thanksgiving healthier? Did you get real butter and pie and everything? Okay, no one touched my stuffing. I got real butter because I was like, there's no stuffing recipe without that good ones without real butter in it. You just can't do that. So I just kind of didn't she kind of minded her business when I was making it, but her dishes didn't need butter cuz she does like this like stuffed acorn squash, so you just need like olive oil and honey and then all her other spices and herbs. And then what else did she make? Her turkey, she makes the best turkey ever, and shockingly, she does not use butter, which is crazy, like and I've had a deep fried turkey, I've had butter turkey, her turkey is better. She is gifted at a lot of things, cooking-wise and life-wise, but she is so good at making turkey, like dry ware. There's not a piece of her turkey that's dry. That is pristine turkey. And then she shockingly had gravy too. And I was like, I think that my sister got in her head because my sister is on this like post birth giving health nut kick. And that's fine. I eat healthy too most of the time. But on Thanksgiving, we don't need to have a paleo gluten-free stuffing. Harry was like, "I can't believe how much you've been talking about this," because it's like saying that is quite literally the greatest offense and biggest oxymoron I've ever heard of. Like, what do you just don't make stuffing then. Make something else. It doesn't need to be stuffing. Stuffing is literally gluten. Weird. Yeah, so I won and the shit hit. My aunt brought the pies and I was so full I could barely get to the pies. And then so later that night, once everyone left, I had a piece of the apple pie. No, a piece of the pumpkin pie. And I don't know if it's because it sat out or if because she got like not a good store pie. It wasn't good, guys. And I was so disappointed because I was just looking forward to having, like, a sick piece of pumpkin pie with ice cream, and I tried the pie and was like, "I don't remember pumpkin pie tasting like this." So I need to confirm with other family members who tried the pie if it was just a gross pie or maybe it, like, sat out too long and got gross. But all in all, it was a win, and the food was amazing. Casey, hey girl. Abdeel, I went to Topgolf this past week and I forgot how fun it was. I've been dying to go to Topgolf. I've only done it once and I haven't really done it. Like I went to a friend's birthday and I was late, so I just got to swing twice, but I've never had like a full go at it. I've never had a full go at any golfing experience, but I think I'm kind of destined to be a good golfer. And I know that sounds funny, but field hockey feels like a cousin to golf, and anytime I've done, like, a little trying of golf, I eat. Like, I my my uncle has a little golfing putt, has 3 holes. I am not kidding when I say I picked up a random golf club. Don't know if it was the right thing for a putt, who knows? I sunk like 5 in a row, and my uncle, who golfs every day, was like, "I've never seen someone do that. Do you golf, Steph?" And H was like, "She never has golfed." And he's like, "No way, like, you guys are fucking with me." And I'm like, "No, deadass, I've never golfed. I just I think I'm supposed to be really good at golf, honestly." When I mini golfed, I've never really tried that hard. I know we did it for the World Girls, but I wasn't great at mini golf, so I think I, like, thought I wouldn't be good at golf. But I think because I was just, like, always having fun with mini golf, you kind of have to really focus and not get in your head when you're like that's what I did. The reason why I was able to get those 5 in a row or whatever it was is because I wasn't thinking about it. And I wasn't trying to compete, which I guess is part of golf. But anyways, I say this all to say I really want to start doing some sort of golf thing. I have a few gray hairs, mostly in my beard, but none in my locks, at least not yet. I have like 3 or 4 I found. And I think that's life. I like it on especially I like it on men, so I feel like that's have no fear. Okay. My cat's being super needy. Steph, what was your favorite thing to eat on Thanksgiving? Um, it was probably the turkey with like the mash potatoes and cranberry sauce all mixed together. Okay, Dion Austin. This is okay, we're at the Wicked Talk yet. No, Rihanna, we haven't started the Wicked Talk. I'm just getting to it in the chat so we can get into it. Okay, Dion, Wicked for Good. I love the scene where Elphaba is talking to the animals and reunites with her old nanny, Dulcie Bear. That was really cute. That was super cute. And then the fucking bitch ass lion starts running his mouth right as Elphaba is about to hit the last note. And I'm like, you're so ungrateful. You don't even know what she's done for you. And I get it. Like, I get like the emotional trauma that you've just like consider it as one thing because you grew up alone, but do you know so you'd rather be in a cage not speaking? When he started running his mouth, I was like, "Ugh. Oh, that's how it's gonna be? That's how it's gonna be?" Which I guess I should have known that because of Wizard of Oz, but, like, now knowing you were the cub that she took from class and went out of her way to do so, and then you're gonna start talking about oh, she's wicked. She took me from my cage. Do you know how stupid you sound? Instantly lose all credibility. Like no one around there should have listened to him. They should have been like, "Okay, there, dummy. Um, I think you should talk to someone else about that. We actually have real problems over here." I believe Roxy's film with Kate Beckinsale just came out. Have you seen it yet? I bought it to support. I have to see it. We were supposed to see it with my family, but because Kim and John, they had my sister had her um anniversary like exchange, so we need to get. I think I'm just gonna watch it on my own, but I have it. And I'm very excited for her. I was most excited because I watched Jimmy Kimmel every night, and then the scene came up with her, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like a whole face shot, like a whole face shot. And even if I didn't know that was her movie, I'd be like, "Wait, that's Roxy." So I'm so happy for her. I loved her glam in it. Like her hair was super cool, and yeah, I'm just super, super happy for her. Excited to see it. Huge win. Hopefully, there'll be many, many more very soon for her. Rihanna, I'm late. Please tell me we didn't. No, no, we didn't start it yet. Rihanna, get in here. Get in here. We're talking about it now. Um, Jeremy. Hey, Steph. Hey, Jeremy. Joyous Romer. How close to you being monetized? I don't know. I have to be so close. I need to like do a deep dive again every week. I have to like check the analytics. I have to be so close. So I need to like kind of like reset all of my analytics. So I feel like I kind of am at like this pause where I'm not doing as what like growing like I was in the first month or two. But part of it's because I got sick and then wasn't posting as consistently. But we're still growing, but need to grow more. That's why I was asking you guys what kind of videos you want to be seeing. Just kind of curious where your heart lies. Okay. Steph, in the song March of the Witch Hunters and Wicked for Good, Bach was vicious when he rallied the mob, but plus Glinda and Elphaba are both totally done with Dorothy. That was hilarious. Oh yeah, they were like, girl, please. Like, this is not about you. Like, you shouldn't even be here. If it wasn't for Madame Morrible, you wouldn't be here. But here you are, thinking you're important and shit when you're not. Yeah. Let's talk about Bach and the Scarecrow's makeup. That was crazy. They really did their thing with the makeup. They made up for the strip lashes with the real makeup for the Tin Man and for the Scarecrow. That was sick. That was sick. But yeah, Bach was vicious, but low key, I feel bad for Bach. Do I think Bach is delusional in the sense that he actually thought he had a chance with Glinda? Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, this girl doesn't even pronounce your name right. She was calling you Bic, like the pen. And I would be totally fine with him being like, I don't want to be under your control, Nessa. You've kind of turned into a full grown tyrant with a horrible attitude. You treat your sister like absolute dog shit. And then you continuously play the victim, but then don't want to be the victim or treated differently. But then you like live in victimhood. So I get why he was like, oh, I can't stand being next to Nessa. She just sucks. Like, if Nessa had just focused on herself instead of what people aren't doing for her or what they could be doing better, she would be in such a better place. She'd be in such a better place, but instead it's, oh, poor me, you didn't show up when dad died. Oh, you mean the guy who literally hated my guts? And the guy who made mom chew all of these leaves that made her die, and then you come out premature, that guy? You wanted me to come back and risk my life to pat you on the back about that guy? Girl, is reality in the room with us? Upped on her? I was like, that's a vicious way to go. But you're out here looking stupid. racing around town looking for Bach, who you literally kept prisoner, and then the moment he wanted to express his freedom, you made a insane fascist ban or a need for identity or passport, whatever it was, visas for all of Munchkins. That's loco and not in the Twilight good way. That's crazy. I was like, Nessa, you evil witch. That's why you got your leg smashed in by the house. Yeah. Yeah, so I get why Bach was pissed. I do. I do. I was like, Bach's whole life has been taken advantage of for A, being stupid and like, sometimes I think it's good to like think that you can go out of your league because maybe he had like an amazing personality and would have invented something great and done something awesome and helped all the people, and then Glinda would have seen him. But he wasn't doing that. He was just being like cute Bach and then expecting the most popular, self-centered baddie to look at him. That's delusional. Yeah, so I felt bad for him, but I was like, not about the Glinda thing, but about the fact that you had Nessa's crazy ass. Oh, okay. First of all, I love Wicked for this from Rihanna. First of all, I love Wicked for Good, and apparently them saying I love you and then closing the door and leaning their head against the door and crying at the same time. Thank you. Um, was completely improvised. No way. So the timing of them hitting their head, putting their heads against the wall was improvised. That was one of my favorite parts. I just got this mango slushie I'm so looking forward to. Um, Mango green tea. I really loved that part. I saw a lot of people pissed that there was that part where they were telling each other a secret, and they're like, "Why wouldn't the audience be able to hear that?" I didn't feel bothered by that because I feel like it was their plan, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of, like, shown, not said. What did you think about that? And I agree, I loved Wicked for Good. I thought it was a great ending. I think people were expecting, who maybe didn't see the play, they were expecting the same energy as Wicked Part 1, and I kind of knew I didn't really have much. I stayed away from all spoilers, but one thing I did know was that the soundtrack, they say, was, like, a lot less fun for the second half, which happens a lot in plays. Like, I listened to the Hamilton soundtrack from start to finish, but I like the first half better than the second half. Just because the first half is like so exciting, so fun, like a lot of good is happening. And then the second half, obviously, you have a lot of the drama happening. So I think Wicked was kind of similar. Because what is taught is totally from a European perspective. Like, the term Middle East is totally Eurocentric term where technically those countries are actually West Asia. Yeah, that's how a lot of things are. I know, like, I grew up my whole life and I still say Middle Eastern, but it's technically Western Asian. So I'm technically like almost all Asian, which is fun. But I think like people when you say West Asian have like no idea what you're talking about because the term has been so commodified. Mel, I never got into Stranger Things. Yeah, there's so much good TV, I don't believe it's, like, hard to get into everything. What's up with your boy high top hairline on Stranger Things was fine last season, now it's close to eyebrows. Who, Dustin? I haven't seen the final season, so I don't know yet. Okay, Rihanna, now you're speaking my language. Fuck Nessa forever, BTW. I never felt bad for her in either movie, and she stayed an irredeemable bitch. She got what she deserved. Only baby Nessa deserves rights. Baby Nessa, anytime she can, like, I can watch that movie 10 times in a row, and every time she goes, "Hi," I would just be like, "Oh, you're the cutest thing ever." But I totally agree. I didn't like Nessa in the first movie, and I don't like her in the second. Like, acting all embarrassed of your sister when people are bullying her, you weirdo. Like, do you not know right from wrong? That's crazy. That's actually idiotic. And then for Elphaba to still be nice to her, like on some Cinderella shit, and then you still think that she owes you something is crazy. Crazy. It's so self-centered. Like between her and Glinda, the self-centeredness, but at least Glinda had an arc. Nessa just like got nastier and nastier. Okay. And let's not forget about the real Wicked Witch, Madame Morrible. Her getting carried away by flying monkeys wasn't enough for me. I need her to receive more lashings for everything she's done. She Yeah, because I feel like the wizard was kind of just like swaggy and knew the people were stupid. And went like I feel like Morrible was the mastermind and he was like, okay, if that means staying in power, sure. Like he had no like real moral compass, but it felt like she was the conductor of all the really, really twisted shit that was happening. Like I feel like it was her idea to be make the animals the enemy number one in Wicked Part 1. Yeah, I was like, I hate to see one of my favorite actresses like this, but I hate Madame Morrible. She's a nasty, nasty witch. Yeah, I wasn't I'm like glad that she'll be in the dungeons forever. Definitely deserves that. I think that's pretty good, but I wouldn't have been upset with like a public shaming. Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel, and I know that they can't change the book or like too much of the movie, and they did change some things, which I'm glad about. Especially the uh Fiyero storyline. I think it's changed from the original play, and I'm really happy about that. But I'll say this, if you're just watching it as an outsider and you don't know that it's based on source material and you don't consider the fact that they have to respect source material, you're thinking to yourself, why does Elphaba, the one with talent, the one with God-given talent, the one who's like actually has a head on her shoulders, who stands up for injustice, who believes in equality and will protect all people, even the ones who have been dicks to her. Why does she have to be the one to be like, "Oh, I'll just take it. I'll just take it. Just burn me at the stake and say it was all me because the people need an enemy." Like that to me is a serious injustice. And thank God Glinda did have an arc because the whole time, and you saw how I was going into the second one, like I was just like, this girl, yeah, she has personality times 100 for sure. And I do like her friendship with Elphaba. But Elphaba has given her everything. Madame Morrible wouldn't have even looked at her ever, ever, ever. She would have never gone to Oz without Elphaba. She would have never had any of these things. And then for her not to even like consider for a second, like that level of privilege is insane to me. Consider for a second, like, oh, what are happening to animals? Like, where did they go? Are they not going to be able to talk anymore? Oh, they're living in a literal dungeon in the place where I'm residing in my mansion room, and I'm not even batting an eyelash thinking about them. And the show must go on, and I must perform this like happy dance because that's what people need. I was about to be like, "Oh no." And then luckily she got those little black riding boots and started riding to Elphaba and started growing a pair because I was like, if this movie ends without Glinda like realizing at all that she's been the stupid one and that Elphaba deserves so much more and she owes Elphaba literally everything, then that's going to be a problem. But yeah, so if you're thinking like for me, when I didn't know the source material, you're like, why can't Elphaba come back and be like, let me set the record straight. You guys have been lied to. Morrible should take the heat on all of this and the wizard. Let's just tell them the truth and I'll rule with you. And we can be two baddie besties ruling together. And sorry that your love of your life loves me but he's the only guy that's really gonna get me, and I really get him. So we go together, and it'll take some time for you to heal off that, bestie. But know that this is like the only major win I get against you. And you'll find your love too, because you don't want to be with someone who doesn't love you as much as you love them. And then they would live happily ever after. But instead, we got like a really satisfying ending for what the actual story is, which is that Elphaba still gets a love, but she and Glinda grows a backbone and a frontal lobe and now knows how to like make decisions and be actually use her brain to realize that there was injustice in the world and that she needs to be actually good and not just like a vibe. But I wish Elphaba could come back. No, red carpet, we just started talking about it, Sam. So you're good. Um Abdiel, for this season, I'm just glad Hopper's being uh back to the Hop we know and love in the earlier seasons. Okay, I'm excited to get to that. Steph, no details, but getting to help you relive your stress, it will rise watching the 5th season of Stranger Things. Enough said. But get something to help you relieve your stress. Oh God, okay. Red Carpet Talk. There's more range in Xmas movies than people realize. Totally. What are some of your favorite Xmas movies, Sam? Joseph Ashing, my niece made homemade dressing with cornbread. Yum! I almost made put cornbread in it, but my uncle makes cornbread, so I was like, I don't want to do it twice. But yeah, I thought about mixing the different types of breads in it. That would be yum for sure. For Thanksgiving, I ate, I drank. Amazing. I love Wicked for Good. Yeah, Sam, you're our biggest writer. We love it. Red carpet. I like Roxy in the movie Wildcat. Something not what I expected. Haha. Yeah, it's badass for sure. Rihanna, Dulcie Bear is fake as fuck. She fully gave up and was not trying to support Elphaba at all. I feel bad. Elphaba never had a good supportive parental figure. I don't know. I feel like that's tough on Dulcie Bear. Dulcie Bear still like greeted her with so much love and excitement. She's just like not, she wasn't like around where Elphaba was to protect her and stuff. And then also she had to like, I don't know, she was scared. I give her a little more leeway because she still loved Elphaba. And she never like believed the rumors. But yeah, Elphaba deserves so much more. Hey Steph, I'm fine with anyone who is vegan eating a vegan Thanksgiving, but I can't do it. I need turkey meat, I need greens, I need macaroni, I need desserts. Yeah, I hear you. A vegan food has really come a long way. There's like 2 vegan restaurants I love in LA, and I'm sure if they made a vegan Thanksgiving, I'd be like, this slaps. But in the back of my head, I would be thinking like a regular Thanksgiving for tonight would have been preferred. Oh my gosh, William, I'm behind, but my mom actually attempted some fat-free stuff for Thanksgiving. And I was like, not today, Satan. Why on Thanksgiving? Like, do that on your weekly meals, on your daily meals. That's how you actually enact change in your health and your wellness. Not just like on the one holiday meal where you're supposed to just eat whatever you want. That's crazy to me. I don't get that at all. Okay. Um, I can't believe I missed the Wicked Talk last week. The performances are solid. I like subversive storytelling. We didn't do any spoilers last week because I wanted to give everyone an extra week before we spoiler talk. Yeah. Sam, so you're actually so here at the right time, the right place. Give me all of your thoughts, all of your feelings. We're here for it. I've been really wanting to deep dive with you specifically because I know how much this franchise means to you. Sassy Step is fun. Oh my god. Yeah, when I like feel passionately about something, it's hard for me to control myself. Okay. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I love the sense of intimacy that is shown in Wicked films compared to other John M. Chu films, thanks to the direction and cinematography plus Cynthia and Ariana's chemistry. Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm excited to see what John M. Chu does now moving forward. He is a very exciting filmmaker to watch because I like the differences between the projects he's working on, and agreed about Cynthia and Ariana's chemistry. It's through the roof. Like, their chemistry is insane. I I'm actually not with the hate about their, like, the off-screen interviews. Like, these are emotional girlies. Like, why are like, people are like, "This is a very weird codependent relationship," and I've seen a lot of people making fun of how Cynthia protected Ariana from that crazy fan, or whatever he wants to call himself, that was at the Singapore premiere, and I'm like, "You guys are weird." Like, that's her friend defending her friend. Why is that? Because security wasn't there fast enough. Like, why do you guys have to hate on this beautiful friendship that's budded from this film? And I feel like they both have expressed that they really needed each other, and their chemistry shows on screen. So I feel like it's helped us all out in the end. I'm like, y'all are haters. I don't know. That stuff doesn't bother me. I liked their interviews. I think it's funny that they're so emo and crying all the time. And they're self-aware of it too. Like, they're not stupid. They know they're being crazy, but it's cute. Rihanna, that cowardly lion had absolutely no valid beef with Elphaba. She saved your life, dummy. Needed him to be turned into a carpet real bad. Like, don't make me make you into a coat. Are you for real? When the lion opened his mouth, I'm like, that's why you sound like that. And that's why you'll never, like, no one's gonna love you like this. Like, how, like, what man, woman, or person or other lion is gonna be like, you know who I like? That lion. No, you have, like, literally zero swag, complete victim blaming. No, no, no. And it's like crazy that it's Coleman Domingo, who I think is like the most amazing person. Like, that's crazy that Coleman Domingo has to play a bitch, a little bitch. Yeah, but I remember everyone was so happy when Coleman Domingo was cast, and then I think we, like, actually thought about what that meant. Like, that the Cowardly Lion's always been the most annoying. In the original Wizard of Oz, he's so annoying. You're like, will you shut up for a second? Like, life is scary. You've been scared your whole life. Like, you've been like this every day. Like, it's one thing to get scared once, twice, thrice. But every day of your life, now you're getting old and you're still scared? Who's gonna be your friend? I wouldn't be their friend. And I consider myself to deal with a lot of bullshit friendship-wise. I would not be that person's friend. That is an energy vampire. Oh my gosh, they should put him in, uh, What We Do in the Shadows. He could compete with Colin. There's so much resentment with Nessa that Marissa Bode plays well. I noticed it more when rewatching the first movie. No, she's such a great actress. Totally. Totally. I think that for her to play that role where you're like, you want to feel for her because you know she hasn't had the luckiest life in some areas, but then, like, it's like, wait, you literally got to go to Shiz. Your dad was obsessed with you. Your sister's obsessed with you. You made friends really easily. You're gorgeous. You can sing. What are we complaining about? Now it's not hard. What was hard was when your mom died prematurely when you were born prematurely. That sucked. And that maybe people treated you differently for a while because you were in a chair. But now I feel like everyone's just like dapping you up like normal Nessa, and you're the one being weird. Yeah, she really was a great actress. I'm excited to see what she does moving forward. I loved Michelle Yeoh's Madame Morrible. The best scene is still the slow-mo scene in part one where she orders the monkeys to attack Elphaba, then walks away. Yeah, when Madame Marble in the first movie, she's like obsessed with Elphaba. And then all of a sudden, it's like Elphaba is just like, I'm not gonna enslave the monkeys and do all this crazy shit to the animals. And then she gets on the loud phone and she goes, Elphaba is evil. She wants all of you dead, or whatever she says. That is drama. You didn't even afford your student of the year an extra conversation before you stuck the whole world against her.
Okay.
Evil.
Not playing with you, man. I'm gonna turn with
That's evil. Sorry, Steph, got caught up. I couldn't believe that Burr the lion forgot what Elphaba did for him. It's not that he remembered what she did for him. He didn't like it. He was so deranged that he thought that he would like life better in a cage without talking than left alone to be free. And there are people like that. It's actually a really good metaphor for some people. I feel like some people do want to be like controlled. You hear it today. There are some people who are dead ass like, what's so bad with fascism? And it's like, oh, okay, if I have to explain this to you, then I don't know. I'm gonna need like 8 more espressos. Howdy, y'all from Curtis. Hey, Curtis, what's up? Red carpet talk. Are people turning on David Harbour now? I don't know. I was thinking that it was hard for me rewatching season 1 not to think about the entire album that just dropped against him. And the weirdest part about the album is that it brought up those like weird timing things with his exes, and how wasn't there was at least one who jumped from his building when he broke up with her or something like that. And I was like, this is I wonder what's going on here. Is he because he's so likable on screen, you're just like, I hope he's that likable in person. So it was quite the bummer to hear all that jazz. Steph, do you like going somewhere with snow for Christmas? Have I done that? I don't think I've ever been. I've only spent Christmas in San Diego, but I've definitely spent like winter breaks in Mammoth or Big Bear, or those are the main places I've been snowy wise, and I like it. But I'm not like accustomed to like a snowy Christmas. No, because I'm a Southern California West Coast girl through and through, so I don't do snow, so I don't know. It's not like I'm looking for it, but I wouldn't mind it. I like snow. I do like it when it's around, but I just don't I never we spend it at home, Christmas at home, so it's not like we have that opportunity. Dion, she really got the short end of the stick, poor Alphaba. If they didn't give her the love arc, I would have been actually pissed. Like, it wouldn't have been a good ending for me. So I'm really glad that they did that, because it was too much. It was too much. Like, her whole life, she's gotten the short end of the stick, and people have treated her so wrong for literally existing. I can't believe Coleman Domingo's the lion. Like, bruh, totally. The whole time I'm like, that's fucking Coleman Domingo. As this horrible, whiny lion. Crazy. Not gonna lie, Scarecrow Fiero scares the shit out of me. High-key unsettling to look at. I might have to leave him if, oh my god, if I was Alpha Plus sitting on the straw, doesn't seem like a fun ride. Rihanna! No, they're both like super freaky together. It's beautiful. No, I liked Fiero's look. I do. It's like that still there's still the people's sexiest man alive is still under there. You can see it. You can see it. No, I thought it looked really cool. I wonder what's down there. I did think about that because she only got like to experience it once. So I'm like hoping that there's maybe some abracadabra that can go on to preserve the lower region for them. So that's where I'm gonna think it is. That's what I'm gonna decide the ending for myself. Lion seems too young to realize what actually happened as a cub. Yeah. Red carpet, I love snow. Yeah, I like it a lot too. I used to snowboard like every winter, but we always spend Christmas in San Diego. Dion, Steph, when Alphaba turned the prince into the scarecrow, I sensed the urgency to save his life. For sure. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I loved that scene. It was so harrowing when she was like, "Why should I be good anymore? Like, no, none of my good deeds have worked. Like, fuck this. This is so fucked up. Like, now I desperately need to try to preserve the one thing that's been truly pure to me." Yeah, it was really good. Red carpet. People seem to For Good ended as a tragedy. To think For Good ended as a tragedy. I'm like, isn't that the play? Yeah, that's what I was confused about. Like, I feel like a lot of people were confused that it was based on source material. Like, even I knew that. But then I realized, Sam, sometimes we're in such a small bubble within this movie space that and like art, like us, like I bet you like all of us in this chat right now are pretty creative artists. We follow theater and movies and TV at least a little bit, and that's more than the majority of the world. So there could be a percentage of people that thought it was about like loosely based on the play or something. I don't know. Okay, those who are criticizing Jonathan Bailey's look as Scarecrow are confused me when in the past we've had Michael Jackson's version of Scarecrow, which is way more wonky. Yeah, I thought it looked really good. I was just so happy that he was alive and that we got to preserve him in any way possible and that it fit in with the story and that they ended up together. That I was too busy and it looked cool to me. So honestly, it really worked for me. But when Glinda and Elphaba got into that fight, I lost it. Like lost it in like because you didn't want them to fight or kind of like that was because it was kind of a comedic scene. It had like it was like sad, but it also had some funny moments with like the wand twirling and stuff. That was like funny Ari moments for sure. William said, I'm behind, but LMAO at Harry saying you're going on about the Thanksgiving dinner battle, but it's the principle. A few times a year, we're allowed to indulge guilt free, no healthy food. No, he's 100% rides with me on this, but he like couldn't believe that I spent like a chunk of last week's episode talking about it. But I will say this. I told you guys, it was his favorite of the food by far. He was obsessed with the stuffing. And then there was some leftover stuffing and he like savored it and had some last night. And he's like, I ate that shit slow. I ate it slow because I knew I wasn't going to get it for a while. It's so good. I was like, "Oh, thank you." Yeah, but it's the principle for sure, William. You get it. Steph, I think you're good at gold because it's pretty similar. Golf is pretty similar to field hockey. Yeah, yeah, I think they're like cousins for sure. Steph, when I saw that Dr. Dillman was back at Chiz, that warmed my heart to see him back. But I think that there was more after Wicked dealing with Elphaba and Firo's son. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Do they have a son? I don't know about this. But back to Dr. Dillman for sure. Dr. Dillman's my guy. I was glad to see him back. Elphaba supported Nessa from childhood and got none in return. Right. It's like it was a give, and just take from Nessa. And all Nessa did was take, and didn't give a single thing to Elphaba. Not once was she supportive or asking her how her day is. How does she feel that she was bullied by the town again? No, nothing. Just about her. Low key, I thought that the little Glinda flashback was unnecessary. I think that everything that scene told us about her character we already knew from part one. Small nitpick though. Yeah, that's fair. I liked it because we saw little Alpha, but I also agree with that. Like, there was a ton of Glinda this movie where I'm like a full-on Elphaba girl that I could have just used another Elphaba scene, or you could have cut the movie a little shorter. Because I agree, we did know that. Zin, hi Steph, much love from Fiji Islands. Zin, Fiji was my first major trip with my family. I'll never forget it. Fiji had the kindest people ever. I could not believe how kind the Fijians were. I was like, these are the greatest people on earth. We fished with them. We made friends with like a lot of the local kids. Like they were the coolest kids ever, and it was such a great trip. I want to go back there. Thanks for being here. That's awesome. Where are you in Fiji? Abdiel, looks like Zootopia 2 is off to a great start box office wise. That's awesome. That's I thought it would. Dion, when Gramarye opened for Glinda, that meant Glinda popped her bubbles. That's hysterical. Red Carpet Talk. The Elphaba and Glinda fight was hilarious. Great parallel with the training sequence from part one during the loathing montage. Yeah. I loved it. That was really cute. It was like a good balance of emotions in that scene. I'm already forgetting the details of this movie. LOL. There's so many things that you've probably been watching in between. Dion, that she got out into her own power and did was right was, well, kind of. Mel does review Steph LMAO. What did I say? What did I do? Red Carpet Talk. I like that we get Elphaba childhood flashback in part one and a Glinda one in part two. It shows how she's conditioned to put on a facade from a young age. Yeah, and her parents kind of supported that. I wasn't a fan of Zootopia 2. There's better animated movies this year. There's so many great animated movies this year. The one that I keep hearing about that's like the high Oscar contender 2026 is the Japanese one. I want to see that. What's it called? Let's see. No, I want to go to find. Scroll. Bastards. Okay. Oh, I also really want to see Hamnet. Has anyone seen Hamnet so far? Where is anime? Okay, animated feature. Is it this one? Little Amelie or the character of Rain? No, wait. Yeah, is this the... Yeah, the Belgian girl born in Japan. Is it out yet? Have you guys heard about this one at all? Little Amelie or the character of Rain? I think the Grimoire might have opened since it's a subtle hint to Glinda that Elphaba is still alive. Yeah, I think so too. Some people thought that was Glinda getting magic. What do you think about that? Curtis, just imagine all the bad outcomes the Good Witch is going to have to deal with trying out that wily magic wand. Will she be still considered good? That's true. She's gonna have a lot of practice if she can even get harness magic. Elphaba seems to believe in her. I have a good memory and rewatched part 1 and 2 in theaters, a double feature after watching For Good, so that's why I vividly remember details that are more clear when it plays back to back. That makes sense. Jeremy, these 4+ hours seem like a lot unless you have a good weekend plans like both movies, Wicked, and both Kill Bill volumes. Yeah, weekend plans like both movies. Oh yeah, the Kill Bill movies are coming out in theater again. Malda's reviews. I feel like I need award noms to come in already so I can curate a list of things to watch. LOL. I don't want to waste my time with boring films. Oh my god, girl, I feel this. Like, I'm like, can you guys release the list so I can make sure I've watched everything? Though, can I be like totally honest with you guys? The more that the year passes, and I never want to say this is my opinion, and it's like the more the year passes by, the less I think about Anora. And the more that I think about like The Substance and Wicked or Dune or literally any of the other movies. Like Anora's like kind of like the one I'm never going to rewatch. I thought it was a great performance by Mickey, but like when I'm comparing, and I'm biased because I love Wicked Part 1 so much. But when you compare what Cynthia or Demi did in The Substance or Wicked, it's like it's so hard to compare because I get what she did. I think she had a great performance in Anora, and it was a hard performance. But I'm like, when I watch videos of Cynthia going on a broom, doing her own stunts 40 miles per hour in the air, singing better than anyone on earth, no one can do that. No one can do that but her. And it kind of just makes me like, I remember finishing the Oscars last year, like, I don't know if I want to watch next year. And I know that's going to rub some people the wrong way because they might totally disagree with me, but it was just like, I didn't get it at all. I didn't get the sweep of it. I was like, I get getting an award for it because it was a good movie. But the sweep of it all was crazy to me. I thought the Grimoires opening was hinting at Glinda finally having powers. Yeah, especially after singing that she changed for good, and maybe that change got her on the same magic wavelength as Elphaba. I thought that it was hinting at her getting powers too. Steph, yes, Dulcie Bear was still unsure and scared about what was happening with the animals. Okay. Okay. I have to get out of here soon, but I'm loving this conversation. I don't think Linda is good Wicked. Is good Wicked, especially part 2, makes you question what good versus bad. She explicitly says she isn't good but wants to try to be at the end for good when someone claims to. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that it definitely brought into the gray area like what people consider good and kind of the difference between like good and kindness and what that means. So yeah, that in that sense her character was really interesting, and she thought she was doing good by just like being like a joyful presence, but realizing how short that really fell. And for that fact, I really loved her arc. Like by the end of it, I was like, Glinda's my girl. I appreciate this. I love how serious stuff is about Wicked. I know I am. I knew that. I returned from India without what's her face. Oh my god, you kill me, Ash. She's staying another 2 weeks with her family since it was her cousin's wedding, so she clearly hates me and wants to leave me. Oh my god, you're so unserious. I can't. I can't wait to see how Coleman plays Joseph Jackson in the new Michael film. Yeah, I'm curious about that film. I'm so hyped about the Kill Bill double feature. Yeah, I think it's a really fun time for that. Do you think he'll think if it was playing at the Dolby and I can lounge, but it's not, so I cannot 4 hours is long, man. Yeah, is it not playing at any place with loungers? PTB, hi. Okay. Um, let's see. IDK about the Britney biopic casting will be key. I'm nervous, but I was about Wicked as well. Yeah. Oh, by the way, can we have an update on your video game journey we're forcing you on? Yeah, Harry has a game. H!
Hey,
Do you know the game that you were thinking of having me start on?
it's a co-op game.
It's a co-op game called.
Get the name.
He forgets the name of it.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
He's looking it up. No, we're moving forward with the journey. He's trying to get me a gamer screen, a gamer desktop, so that I can properly do it. But yeah, I'm really considering it, guys. I'm really considering doing like a few hours a week playing one game.
It's called Split Fiction.
It's called Split Fiction as
So
it.
it's co-op, so I can.
He
teach
got
you how
really
to use
excited. He's standing
your
up.
Keyboard, your WASD,
Oh.
because you can't be playing with controller. It's one
Oh,
keyboard.
okay. He said it's split.
It's called Split Fiction.
It's called Split Fiction, and it's a co-op game, which he likes the idea of that because he can teach me how to play with the keyboard to move it correctly, because I do need guidance, and it's like a good game to be able to do that while I'm learning the ropes of how to do the keyboard stuff with it. You know what I mean?
But I think you'll be a natural. You know.
He said, I think you'll be a natural. This is the guy who thinks I'm good at singing, by the way, and all of you have heard me sing.
Sing. Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay. Okay, I'm scrolling through these because I have to get out of here soon. Because I think Roxy's going to go live soon. I don't want to step on her toes. Okay. I haven't seen Hamnet yet, since I feel like the trailer kind of shows it's crazy how much people are crying over this movie. I know, I didn't watch the trailer, so I'm kind of just excited to go into a blind. But yeah, I saw people are really crying. Handsome Ransom Aloha. Hey! My friend Jess said she cried more during Hamnet than Wicked for Good. I was like, damn. Okay. Not gonna lie, the black and white cutaways to Fiyero being beaten on the cross in the Christ position was kind of funny. That was on some telenovela soap opera Passion of the Christ shit. You're hysterical. I didn't even think about it like that. I can't with you. They really could not afford Peter Dinklage to say even one word as Dr. Dillerman. Imagine he still can't speak actually, and he's just set dressing as someone else's teacher. He teaches the class. Yikes. Yeah, I know. I was like, can we just reuse a word from the last film? Damn. Well, I'm from Lautoka in Fiji, though. Where did y'all stay during your trip? We stayed in a few places. I have it written down because I went when I was literally 10, so it's like hard to come back from memory. But let me try to see if it's in my notes. Fiji. Okay. It's somewhere. We'll find it and then we'll talk, okay? Okay. I've actually seen most of the award noms already, which is crazy. Yeah, Sam, you've done such a good job of keeping up. Mel, that is always the argument. These movies that fucking win are the ones we will not watch again. Ugh, I know. It's like, damn, is this always gonna be the way? I've literally only seen Anora once, and it wasn't in theaters either. Yeah, I only saw it once. Nora is not the best Sean Baker movie. Totally, and I love Sean Baker. I totally agree with that. I'm like, Sean Baker has, like, hits, and Anora is a really good movie, but I don't it's, the fact that that's not even his best work, and that's the one. Check out the Taiwanese film Left-Handed Girl. The director has worked with Sean Baker as co-director and the producer on his past films. Okay, for sure. Thanks. Jeremy, is there any traditional Christmas movies like with Santa you and Harry are gonna watch that you have or haven't seen? Well, my favorite is How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey, and then Elf will probably watch as well. But I'm trying to think of like other traditional ones. There's definitely ones that I haven't seen yet. Do you have any suggestions? I haven't seen them all. I've seen a lot of them, but those are like the two ones I definitely hit. Fuck that. Demi should have won, and I stand on that. Yeah, I would have been happy if Demi won too. Like if it was Demi or Cynthia, I would have been like, yes, yes, yes. Like, get it. I get it. I get it. But the fact that it wasn't either of them, it's just like, damn, what? I just was left that shocked. Okay, Left-Handed Girl just dropped on Netflix a couple days ago. Okay, let me see it. Left-Handed Girl. Okay, drama. Okay, is it gonna like break me again? Okay. All right. So now that the Wicked sequel is done, is there another movie you're really looking forward to at that level? Avatar. I'm an Avatar girly. So part 3, Fire and Ash, I'll be there. I will be there. I might have to wait like a week to see it on Christmas week with my family, which will kind of suck that I can't see it on premiere night, but it's not one of those movies I want to watch 2 times in like 7 days. But yes, I'm very excited for that. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, talking Wicked Part 2 and Oscars and Thanksgiving and all that jazz. You're the best. Hope something great happens to you this week. Relax the rest of the night. Get ready. It's December 1st tomorrow. So let's just start the month off strong. Let's do what needs to be done. And I will see you in the Discord. All right. Love you so much. Goodbye.